is back to try and take back what he feels is his. What can we expect?
Well, he's a promoter's dream. What he did was he relinquished the title, didn't hold up the division, and then he talked to Scott Coker, said, when I come back and I'm ready, I want that automatic title shot, and that's where he's at right now. And I'm telling you guys right now, he poses the threat against Pettis that everyone wishes that he would be bringing to Pettis. All he's got to do is wrestle, use the speed of his hands, get the transitions on the takedowns. His submission game and his ground and pound is nasty. With Darian Caldwell, he was able to get takedowns, able to land the striking, stop takedowns. He did a lot of everything he's going to need to do against Pettis. With Pettis, though, what he's got to do is keep this fight on the feet the same way he fought Juan Archuleta to win the title. He's got to throw anything super hard and overcommit, because if he does that, he will get taken down. And being unstuck on bottom with Horiguchi is not something many people are able to do. They won't survive. And that's the thing. Pettis needs to make sure he gets back to his feet.
Friday, December 3rd, you and I will be there. Cannot wait for that. But we have so much more coming up tonight. We got a heavyweight battle on our hands. Tyrell Fortune going up against Linton Vassell. Let's start with Tyrell Fortune here, who said, look, I've learned my wrestling. I thought I was a striker. I can strike. I'm better at wrestling, and that's what he's got to stick to.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to say this all night long, because we've been saying it to Tyrell Fortune for the last 3 or 4 fights. I said, hey, just start wrestling. If you use your wrestling, because not a lot of heavyweights have top-level wrestling. His pedigree in wrestling is what will get him to the title shot, I believe, as long as he continues to utilize it to also use his striking off of those wrestling. You saw with Matt Mitrione, he set up the striking, he threw the shots, and then went right into the takedown, got to the top position. Matt Mitrione was never in a position. To defend any of these strikes. Just went off to his back, tried to turn it and go belly. Once Tyrell Fortune gets behind him and gets heavy hips on him, he's landing some nasty strikes, and the fight was over. That's the type of fight he needs to fight for every heavyweight he fights, because on their back, they're like turtles. A lot of them are. They can't.
The name now. So Big Swarm Vassell, he loves fighting at this weight. What are the keys for him tonight?
Some big changes going on around here. Make sure that he's all the way in or all the way out. If he's all the way in, he needs to make sure that he's getting that takedown or trying for that takedown as soon as possible, or pressing Tyrell to the fence and making a dirty boxing type fight. What he is physically strong. I have no idea how he ever made light heavyweight. And when you watch some of his light heavyweight fights, he struggled in the second and third round. That conditioning is no longer a factor now that he doesn't have to cut those extra pounds. Him on top is nasty. And Tyrell Fortune said the same thing when Linton Vassell brought him in to fight Ryan Bader. He brought Tyrell Fortune in. He said, look, he is physically strong. Him on top, I don't want to be there. I want to make sure that I'm the one on top of Linton Vassell. Linton Vassell, all he has to do is just fight a long distance range fight on the feet. If he is inside, press Tyrell Fortune on top. If he does that, he'll have a successful tonight.
Well, we know Linton Vassell feels good at heavyweight, but we talked to Tyrell Fortune, who also says, look, I feel like I'm in the best.
Tyrell Fortune squaring off with the number 6 ranked Linton Vassell.
Tyrell Fortune!
Looking to finish it right here, right now. Big hammer fist by Fortune.
His fortunes continue to rise in Bellator now.
Turning it on, look to finish.
And it's all over!
Big hammer fist by Fortune.
His fortunes continue to rise in Bellator now.
Linton, the Swarm Vassell. And it's all over! Linton, Swarm Vassell.
That's a big man in mount. This is a horrible place to be.
He got it! And Linton Vassell scores the huge win. On his way now to the cage, Big Swarm, Linton Vassell.
Now known as the Big Swarm, Linton Vassell hoping to make big moves at heavyweight. He's won his last 2 fights. And he feels at heavyweight, John, he's faster, he's stronger, just everything. He says heavyweights don't really move like light heavyweights on the ground, and he feels he is going to be able to move that quickly on the ground against a guy who, well, has a pretty good background in wrestling in Tyrell Fortune.
A really good background in wrestling. In fact, he came and helped Linton Vassell with his wrestling. But Linton Vassell was a guy that was cutting down to light heavyweight, but he was losing too much weight and it was affecting his performance. He's really not that much bigger. Now, this is his weight. He doesn't have to lose anything. He's super strong. He feels better in fighting, and that's what you want to do going into the fight.
Half of his 20 wins have come in the first round. Linton Vassell looking to keep his career moving in the right direction in the biggest weight class.
And now, to make his way, Tyrell Fortune.
Tyrell Fortune, his entire pro career of money, but in order to make the money in MMA, you've got to continue to evolve, continue to improve, and here he is in his 13th professional fight, ranked number 5 in the Bellator rankings.
Well, look, we've all known about Tyrell as far as his ability to wrestle and how good he is, but he's the typical wrestler. He fell in love with the power of the hands and being able to get the knockout. It's so much easier. It's so nice, and it's not the grind that wrestling is. But he's got to go back to his roots, go back to wrestling, and then the wins will just start piling up.
He was the NCAA Division II national champion in 2013 at Grand Canyon University, hoping to win.
The heaviest Tyrell Fortune has ever been at the heavyweight division, and Linton Vassell at 239 is actually at his lightest. We'll see if that makes a difference.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents live on Showtime tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 6'4", weighing in 239.2 pounds, the former light heavyweight title challenger brings 21 professional victories, 8 defeats from Milton Keynes, England. Big Swarm, Linton Vassell. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 253.8 pounds. As a professional, he's nearly perfect at 11-1 by way of Portland, Oregon. He fights out of Tempe, Arizona, Tyrell Fortune.
Anti-circle
Referee in charge, Mike Beltran.